Hey everybody, what's up? This is Nick from Threat X3 Productions, here to bring you a little bit of a sort of tutorial slash, what I've learned from Hunt Showdown on the PlayStation 4. So I'm playing on the regular PlayStation 4, and these are just basically the things that I've learned, things that would be nice going into a regular match. So first off, I think the number one thing you should do is definitely play through the tutorials. It does a really good at starting off with the basics, and that basically just has regular zombies, and then the spider at the end, which is the bounty you're going for, is only at 25% health. So it kind of just gets you used to the world. Advanced, you have a couple more advanced enemies, and the regular zombies might be armed, so they might have machetes or torches. And then professional is basically like a real match, but with no hunters. Each of the tutorials don't have any hunters or even like bot hunters, so it's really just a good way of getting used to the world. Plus, you do get some blood bonds. You get 100, 250, and 500, so you get a total of 850. So that's really good if you want to buy some skins or anything like that. So definitely that's the number one thing. We're actually going to go through, and I'm going to go through the professional and just show you some things that you should definitely look out for, show you some enemy types, what they sound like, and some tips and tricks on that. And so let's get into it. All right, so when the mission first starts off, it gives you a good, probably minute, maybe 30 seconds. Obviously, since we're doing a tutorial, it's much faster, but use this time to kind of use your dark vision, look around, see if there's any clues nearby, but also kind of see what your position on the map is, and kind of just orientate yourself. So, when looking through the dark vision, how do you know what's closer and what's further away? As we can see right here, you see some fireflies, but they're really tightly packed, and they definitely kind of look like they're further away. Then you go over here, and those ones, they're further away from each other. That actually means that it's closer. The closer you get to the objective, or the clue rather, the further away the fireflies will be. You can also use audio, because if you listen, whereas if you go over here, very faint, whereas over here, a lot louder. So we know that this one's a lot closer. So we're going to go through and I'm going to show you everything. The two weapons that I have both have silencers, and that's just so I don't have anything that comes up that I'm not expecting. All right, so we have a really good example right here. This is what's called a hive. As you can see, she has kind of like a termite thing coming out of her chest. And if we get too close, she'll scream at us and a bunch of bees will come at us. But just in case, we're going to get a lot closer and try to hear what it sounds like. So as you can hear, it kind of sounds like there's bugs around. So even if maybe you don't have line of sight, okay, there must be a hive around because of that sound. Easiest way to do this is a headshot, especially if she doesn't know you're here. Just keep in mind, her head's not up here, her head's off to the side. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, so we're getting a little bit closer, and as you can see, when you start to get closer, you actually start seeing the light from the clue itself. This can kind of help you pinpoint, is it inside a building, is it beside a building? You can kind of use that light. And as you can see, the fireflies are now really far away from each other. As we're going in here, if you want to make sure nobody knows you've been through this area, make sure to close all your doors. Now that's kind of true for any battle royale, but even more so in this one in my opinion. Okay, so to the left we have a horse. He's not quite dead. If I get too close to him, he will alert the zombies. I'm going to get close so you can kind of understand what that looks like. So see, he starts to whine. And unfortunately, we have to put him out of his misery so he'll stop making noise. So here we have the clue. Obviously, if I were to come up to this, you can clearly see, okay, it must be in that because of the light. You can tell if it's been used or not because right now there's some cracks in it. After you get done with it, it's a big hole. Here we have another good example, so we're going to go over here to this guy. This guy has no head, so he can't see you, but he has a bunch of leeches that kind of do his seeing for him. And this is what he sounds like. So even if you don't have a line of sight on him, you'll kind of know, oh Jesus. Time to run. I think we're good. Okay, I think I took the hive out. Now, a good strategy isn't necessarily to take the leeches out, because no matter how many of the leeches I take out, he can spawn new ones, which he'll probably do pretty soon. Oh, there he goes. So there you go. He spawned some more. So as you can see, he can't see me. But if you get too close, see, still doesn't see me, but his leech does. So now he knows something there, but he doesn't know where it is. It's only when a leech finally finds you and they'll attack you. Now he knows exactly where I am. And while the poison's activated, he will most likely still come after you unless you get something in between you, like a fence. Oh shit! As you can see, still after me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Don't even worry about it, bro. This puts up a good point. If you see the life chunk at the very bottom, it will start to regenerate. Now, if I were to get hurt past that life chunk, it will not regenerate that chunk. Let's try to get a good example of that without dying. Hey guy, how's it going? Okay. Here's a really good example. I'm starting to bleed. As you can see, now it's bleeding past my chunk. I have to stop the bleeding in order to save that life chunk. Otherwise, your life will just keep going down. And so now, as you can see, it only goes to whatever life chunk it's in. So that means those 2 life chunks there are completely gone. Now, if you die in battle, but you have a person with you, they will revive you, but you will permanently lose one of your life chunks. Life chunks. Chunk of life. Something. I don't know. So let's heal up. Now, indoors, you can always kind of find stuff. Like I could pick up this weapon. Maybe sometimes you'll find some ammo. It's always good to check inside, especially if you're starting to get low on ammo. Now, here's a really good example. These guys, you'll see cages like this. Sometimes they'll have chickens in them. Sometimes they'll have dogs. Obviously, if you don't want to be found, you're going to have to take these guys out. Because while the zombies are super dumb and they might not notice, other hunters can hear the dogs going off and come and find you. All right, here's a good example of a green barrel. I don't see a lot of these, so I'm going to go ahead and make it go off. Green barrels are poison barrels. Oh, and they go towards whatever's closest to them, apparently. Oh, God. Okay, that's something I just learned on the spot. No, bad horsey. Sorry. Okay, we're coming up on another really good example. You start hearing quacking, means there's ducks in the water. Now, ducks, they're super cute, but I don't have any bread, so this is another thing that can give away your position to other hunters if you're not careful. This is what'll happen. So it makes a really loud sound, and if other hunters in the area, they now know where I am. But luckily, there's another really good example here of an enemy type. Here is a heavy. Let's take out these guys first. This one doesn't really make a lot of noise, but you can kind of pay attention to the sound of its steps. It's not quite as heavy as the leech guy. Let's go ahead and switch to our knife. We should be able to take them out pretty easily. Or not. There we go. 3 heavy hits. Whenever you come up to a body of water, look around and see if any of the water has bubbles. Because if it does, there could be a water demon. I don't have a good example of that, so I'm just going to have to warn you. Not that you need to, but let's say you see somebody passing by one of these. Something nice. Maybe see another hunter. Maybe you can use it then. You know. Here's another really good example. We got crows here. They'll do the same thing as the ducks, essentially. Hey guys, don't mind me. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on! Stop it! I did it. Yay. Okay, here's another guy. He's a flame guy. This is what happens if you piss him off. So he'll burst into flames, and in that particular instance, he was right next to a red barrel, which is explodey. There we go. I think it's here. Ooh, resupply. I guess I can point those out. So if you ever see a box like that, resupply. Well, hi there. How are you, mister? Did I just hear a hound? I think I might have just heard a hound. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Cry all the time. I swear I just heard a hound. What the hell? There he is. Okay, here we go. Hound dogs. If you see one, guaranteed there's another one. Can I shoot the crows? I can, but it does. What am I doing? Oh my god. Don't reload next to a ladder. Dang it, come on. Hi there, don't mind me. Oh wow. Some of them lay on the ground because they're sleepy. Dang it! So as you can see, since I reloaded before I cocked my weapon, now you can see there's an extra bullet I have to put in. So dogs are super easy to take or to see because they kind of make growly noises and they howl every once in a while. Usually they go in packs of 2 or 3. Would you fuck off already? Alright, we need one last clue. Oh, Jesus, that way. Time to go on an adventure! Boom, there we go. So depending on what you have your melee set as, you can do that. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it knocks them back a little bit. Or you can hold it down. So here, just kind of knocks them back a little bit, and then if I hold it down, I hit him with the butt of my rifle. But there's stuff all over the place that will make noise. So you see broken glass. So it's always good to crouch, because no noise. And then same thing with chains. Now, I wouldn't say that you always have to be crouching. I mean, especially in a densely wooded area like this, it's totally cool just to go ahead and run around. So now obviously we could definitely get these two. There's 2 clues here, so I could get either one. But I'm going to show you a trick to know if you're close to an enemy without having to get the 3rd clue. So obviously if I got the 3rd clue, it would show me that it's definitely in an area. Once you get the 3rd clue, it's straight up, you'll see right here the red target is boom. It knows exactly where your target is. But how do you know that without getting the 3rd clue? I'm going to show you that real quick. All right, here we go. Burning. So as you can see, my life chunk is getting burned. After it goes past that, it completely burns it away. So now even if I was going to heal myself, I can't heal myself past that burn because it's burned away that life chunk. All right, I'm going to give you another quick tip. As you can see right now, my knife and my choke are my left and right. But what if I wanted this or this to be my left or right? Highlight over it, hold down left, hold down right, and now those are your quick selects. So now if I go here, quick select to that one, quick select to that one. I know you're here. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's right there. What? Why? Why? Why do you suck at this game? Honestly. I'm pretty sure he's here, but how do I know that? As I get closer, you can see that up in the top left, the icon starts to blink. Oh, fuck off. Now, I haven't gotten the 3rd clue, but I know that he's in this area. So then, depending on what bounty you're going after, you can kind of look for some hints. This one happens to be the spider, so I'm looking for spider webs. You can hear him kind of going around. So that's how you find a monster even without getting the last clue. Or without getting any clues. Here's another really good example. We have yellow. Yellow is fire, so red is explosive, green is poisonous, and yellow is the fire. But you can see it's got some oil. So when I shoot this off, it's not just going to go there, it's going to go all the way across. Alright, now there's plenty of things in the world that can make noise. Maybe you want to distract somebody, maybe you want to throw off a hunter, maybe you want to attract zombies. You can go up to certain things and interact with them. There's also things like generators. That'll make really loud noises, but it'll also turn on lights. So you can see, this matters a lot more at night, obviously. So I'm about to go in and defeat the spider. But I want to make sure, look around, get some extra ammo. Here's a lantern. It's kind of basically like a Molotov. I'm going to set up a couple of them next to the door. So I kind of have like an easy out. Here we go. Here's another one. Place you right there. Okay. I think I'm ready to go in. Got 2 here, 2 over there. Well, hi there, mister. That went way over. Obviously, audio can definitely be used to figure out where he's at, too. If you can, try to always take a couple of shots and then run, especially from this guy. Sometimes dipping out is a good strategy, but keep in mind, if there are hunters around, they might take that opportunity to get you. Okay, so I've pissed him off. He goes into a fury mode where he just does a bunch of damage. Now with the poison, you cannot heal yourself until the poison goes away. I got these guys waiting for me. And there we go, we have slain him. He gets kind of pissed off and then dies. Alright, now typically this is a part where you have to worry about other hunters coming up on you, so you want to kind of barricade yourself in, because once you start banishing, you can see there's a giant mark on the map saying, hey, I'm banishing. Not only that, but if they use their dark vision, they can see a giant blue sky beam right to where you are. Now in this particular circumstance, since it's tutorial, it goes a lot faster, but this usually takes anywhere from like 2 to 3 minutes. It can take a really long time, and it can be extremely stressful. Alright, so now that we have our bounty, because we have our bounty, you can see there's a number 5. Now if I were to use my dark vision, now I can see if there are other hunters around. So it's good to use this sparingly, and also it's a really good idea to go ahead and wait till you get an extraction point to use it, because there could be people trying to set up an ambush at a extraction point. So if you just use it right off the bat, or if you use it all at once, that's not really good. Whereas now I can use it again, wait for it to go down to 3, use it again, wait for it to go down to 2. As long as you keep eye on it, you should be good. And here we go. Here's the extraction. There's not really anything visual to give it away, but oh geez, hello. Whew. Hi there. Okay, I gotta stop the bleeding. So now we have 30 seconds until extraction. So this is when you probably want to use your dark vision. Anybody coming? Nope. Okay. Obviously, this will be way different when you have people, because with people, you'll be able to cover. One covers north, one covers south, so on and so forth. But it's a lot easier. And that's a lot of what I learned. So, I mean, let's review. Sound is everything. Listen. Listen for ducks. Listen for crows. Listen for what kind of enemies are around. Listen for noise cues. I've showed you what most of those noise cues sound like. Now that's for you to know if you're making noise or if other hunters are making noise. So keep a lookout, or keep your ears open for those type of things. Keep your eyes open for certain key things. You know, like I said, I found the monster without having to get the third clue. You don't always need the third clue. If you know certain spots that monsters like to hang out, you get 2 clues and you can see that one of those spots is inside the third area. You don't necessarily have to get the third clue. Now, you do get experience for each clue you get, so just keep in mind that you'll be missing out on some of those. I think one of the last things I want to point out is if we go to the star, I can go and I can look at all these guns. Okay? Now here's something that's very useful. So I'm going to click on this, and now on the PlayStation I can click on R3. Now I'm not necessarily saying go to every single gun and figure out what every gun sounds like, but get used to a couple of them, because as you can see, you can shoot. Now that's pretty standard, but you can also zoom out. So now I can know this is about 100 meters away. What's it sound like at 300 meters? What about What about 700? Getting used to the different lengths will basically let you know how much trouble are you in. Are they getting closer? And also, it just makes you aware of yourself. How much noise am I making every time I decide to shoot? You know, I say always carry something melee with you. Even if that's just a knife, you can take out a lot of zombies with just a really good heavy hit. Or you can take them out with a couple of swipes. There's no reason to go loud unless you absolutely need to. Another good strategy I personally like is with my roster. Obviously, I have this person and they have 2 silenced weapons. I always think it's good to go in with at least 1 silenced weapon, whether that be a melee weapon or something. I think it's always good just because have one that's basically your damage dealer, like a shotgun, and then have another one with a silencer. And that way you have one that does a really good damage and you have one to be quiet and go around. That way you can sneak your way around and not a lot of hunters are even going to know you're there, which will help you get the drop on some people or help you get in and out without ever being seen. Because obviously what you could do is you can actually do some farming. Because if I died in a match with this guy, that means he's gone. So all of his traits that I've picked up, all of his weapons and his consumables, they're all gone. So if I get in a match and I'm just really loud and I'm attracting all the hunters to me, I could die and lose this guy forever. But if I'm quiet about it, I go in, I kill a lot of zombies, and then maybe I just decide to dip out, you can still extract. You can extract at any point, and that way I still get the experience from killing all the zombies, but I don't take any chances. Or let's say things are just not going your way, maybe all 3 clues are already taken, and you can hear gunshots at where the hunt is, or where the bounty is. Well, you have a decision. Do you want to try to set up an ambush, or do you want to just get out of there? Because remember, if they get the bounty, they can see where you are. So you have a choice to make. I feel like either one is viable, but it really depends on your personal preference. If you're at level 50, which is the top level, you have to decide, is it worth losing this person, or should I just go ahead and take the experience that I have now and get out of there? That's the beauty of this game, is that you don't have to. It doesn't necessarily penalize you just because you decide to dip out before everything's gone. So thank you so much for joining us. My name was Nick. You can follow us on at TX3 Productions on Twitter, ThreatX3 Productions on Instagram, or ThreatX3Productions at gmail.com if you want to get a hold of us by email. I was Nick. Thank you so much for joining us on this ThreatX3 production, and you have a good day.